the integrity of the database until he posted his social security number matching that of the database. In the database, it also gave a social security number that started with 280 for the Hart Senate building in Washington, D.C., under the name Barack Obama. So if we're assuming that the database was correct in the original 042 social security number, now we have him. How many Barack Obamas have ever resided in the Hart Senate building in Washington, D.C.? How does he justify using 2? From what I understand, the only way you ever get a second social security number is 1, possibly in an adoption, 2, if you're in the witness protection program.
Oh, and I have news for you. We've seen, we ran the database once, we saw 25 different numbers, and then we ran it again, we saw over 30 different numbers. And we've seen him, it looks numbers of his relatives connected to him. For example, his stepbrother, Mark Nitsanjo, who lives in China today, he went to school in Georgia, and in one of the databases we see his social security connected to Barack Obama. It looks like he just, he believes in sharing, let's share everything. Let's share the social security numbers too. While we're at it.
Yep. I wanted to ask you about progressivism in the United States, since you're from the Soviet Union. What can you tell us about the Communist Party in the United States? And is there some sort of organizations that are trying to expose that, to counter?
Okay. If you want to know about the Communist Party, look at the Democratic Party. They are just going there. They are full speed towards the Communist Party. And what I do know from the Soviet Union is that everything was the opposite. They tell you one thing and they do something completely different. For example, they tell you Obamacare is going to save us money. Rest assured, we're going to spend more money. When Barack Obama is saying we cannot continue with this spending, unprecedented spending, he's going to spend more. He spent nearly the same amount as all of the presidents taken together. So when you talk about progressivism, flip it, and you will know what it is. It's regressive. It's not progressive, it's regressive. Because in terms of your rights, your civil rights, your constitutional rights, it's regressive. They're taking them away. They're not expanding on those.
One more quick thing. I voted in the California primary last week, and I voted for you for U.S.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, Dr. Taitz.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. I guess my question is, you referenced the corruption in the judicial system and in Congress and so forth. My particular view is that people are being threatened. As you mentioned, the judge in the Georgia case, I think he was threatened. I think there must be just a whole culture of intimidation that's pervasive. And how do we fight that? That's my
sir, and that's why you need people who have integrity and who have the backbone of steel. Let me tell you how many times I was threatened, and not just threatened. There was tampering with my car and my husband's car. My poor husband, he has nothing to do with this, and he's getting attacked too. In my car, somebody removed a clamp and disconnected a fumes emissions hose, and hot combustible fumes, instead of getting out through exhaust pipe, were going back to the engine. God forbid, the car could have caught on fire, could have exploded, and I'm in this car with my husband and my 3 children. So that was done to me. There was tampering with my husband's car. We went to the mechanic. They gave us a report. I went to FBI a number of times. I went to the police, and that was back in the beginning of 2009, over 3 years ago. I'm still waiting for them to do anything. So you have to have some strength of character. And just one more thing, not only people are being threatened, people are being dehumanized. Just 2 years ago, I ran for Secretary of State of California. And what they did to me, and actually that was even described in liberal media, even journalists who are liberal were appalled by what was done to me. And a reporter from Mother Jones magazine wrote an article, and as a matter of fact, there is another article coming out now, where she interviewed a painter. Somebody paid, he says it was George Soros, I don't think George Soros will do it directly, but somebody paid this painter to paint a whole series of paintings and do a whole exhibition under the title Bertha Orly Taitz, and he was painting nude pornographic paintings showing me giving birth, holding something like a bloody placenta with blood gushing out of it, writing Bertha Orly Taitz, and they put it all over the internet. They put it in local papers, Orange County Register, OC Weekly, and they sent it to my 3 children. You know, that's what we're fighting. And they wanted to dehumanize me. They wanted to scare me, to frighten me. You know, basically, they were calling me. When I brought one of my cases to the Supreme Court of California, they were calling me every 5 minutes. I still have on my phone messages. I never knew so many bad words in American dictionary as I've heard from those people. And I still have some of those messages. God willing, one day we're going to trace those people and we'll hold them accountable for harassment of me, of my husband, of my children. But, you know, particularly if you are an elected official, you need to have some backbone. And that's what we need. We need to elect people with backbone. And by the way, one thing you can do to help me get elected, our election is June 5th. Please, you can call my office and we'll give you phone numbers of registered California Republicans where you can call them, I don't know, make 10 phone calls, 50 phone calls, whatever you can. If you're retired, if you have time, make those phone calls and ask them to vote for me. This is something that you can do so that I can at least make it in this primary I am leading now. And even if I don't make it in the general election, I will have an opportunity from June 5th primary until November the 6th. I will have several months to pound this issue. I will be doing debates with Senator Feinstein, and you betcha I'm going to bring this issue. So please help me make a difference. Every person can make a difference. If we have the strength, there is nothing they can do to us.
I've also seen some things on like 60 Minutes about, you know, the voter fraud and how easy it is to manipulate the electronic ballot system. It's truly frightening. But when you tell me how, you know, one company is controlling 70%, that's really scary.
Oh, let me tell you.
So my question for you is, what can we best do? Because after the election, you know, it gets lost in the noise. And you know, what can we best do?
Yes, one of the things that we can do, and we don't have much time before your primary, which is on Tuesday, but, well, first, raise your hands who wants to do something, so I can see. Oh, everybody, great. We have 70-something people, 75 people. We can bring a challenge, and I can help you write it, and we can submit it to court Tuesday morning, where we will ask to decertify the results for Barack Obama due to fraud, due to the fact that he got on the ballot under false pretenses, using a name that's not legally his, a forged birth certificate, forged selective service certificate, and a social security number that is not his, according to E-Verify. He wouldn't be eligible to pick tomatoes or clean toilets, and he is on the ballot. So after this event, we can talk about it, and I can help you here in Texas bring forward a challenge, and we can demand an emergency stay. By the way, I have another stay coming. I have two states, in Mississippi and Indiana. In Indiana, we have a date. It's June 12th. If anybody can travel to Indiana June 12th and be in the audience and show support, please do that. We need to bring those stays and demand accountability from those corrupt secretaries of state that know what we know, they know, and they're just being corrupt, and demand accountability and demand that they do something about it. Thank you.
Wow. Empirical data